Chris Broussard is with us now. Chris, we appreciate your time, and I'd like your reaction to everything that took place yesterday.
Well, guys, I've never been prouder of black athletes in my life and the white athletes that are supporting them. I have longed for the day when black athletes would use their power and their platform on behalf of the masses of African-American people to force change on this country, because I think our black athletes being so beloved, being so well connected to corporate America, being so wealthy, being so irreplaceable, have a leverage that most African Americans just don't have. And so I think that gives them some power. I'm glad to see these players begin to exercise that power on behalf of black people. I think they have shown a willingness to make a sacrifice of their livelihood, hundreds of thousands of dollars perhaps, and even millions of dollars if it may come to that, on behalf of other American citizens who don't have the power to fight for themselves. I think any American should be able to respect and admire that, regardless of your political affiliation or whatever it may be. I've heard a lot about a plan. And we know the Bucks. I thought it was good that they spoke with the attorney general in Wisconsin, the lieutenant governor in Wisconsin yesterday, and we're told by them to hold the different levels of government accountable. They found out that in the midst of all that's going on in Wisconsin, the legislature has been off for months. And that is now something that's in the public view because of what the Milwaukee Bucks have done. I love that LeBron said in the meeting, we need to begin holding owners accountable, because I believe these owners have power. They are wealthy. They are corporate titans. They are connected to lawmakers, to politicians, to police commissioners and chiefs. They have incredible power. Meek Mill, just look at that situation. Meek Mill, the rapper, was in jail for 5 months. Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Kevin Hart, members of the Philadelphia Eagles and other athletes were trying to get him out of jail. Robert Kraft and Michael Rubin, owner of the Philadelphia 76ers, obviously Kraft, the Patriots, they go and visit Meek Mill and say he shouldn't be here. And in 2 weeks, he's out of jail. In 2 weeks. And then the judge is removed off the case is dropped, and everything changes.
And all the charges dropped.
Power. Right. That's the power that these guys have, even more so than a LeBron James and other guys. But a LeBron James has the power to push them to get them to do this. They can support his More Than a Vote campaign, open up all their arenas for voters and fight against voter suppression. There's a lot of things they can do. So that is part of the plan. But I'm going to be honest. Even if there's no plan, I salute these athletes for standing up and saying, you know what? We are done entertaining America until America respects us fully as equal and fellow human beings. And not just us, but all Black Americans. There is a long history in this country of Blacks entertaining whites with singing, dancing, foot races, boxing, wrestling, dating all the way back to the slave plantation. So that shows you whites can enjoy the physical gifts of African Americans and enjoy being entertained by us without respecting our humanity. And I think that's what these players are feeling when they see what's happening, Jacob Blake and so on and so forth. They may not even be able to put it in, some of them, in that historical context, but that is what they are feeling. So I salute them for saying no more status quo. We want to be respected as men. And I'll lastly say this. Did Muhammad Ali have a plan? No. Muhammad Ali just acted on his convictions. And he came to a point, he said, I've got to stand by my convictions. I don't know what's going to happen from here. I may never fight again, but I'm standing up as a man on my convictions for what I believe and for my people. And that is what these players are doing, even if they don't have a plan. And Muhammad Ali obviously is the most beloved athlete in the world now. So I hope, that we'll see how this goes further, but that's my general reaction, and I got nothing but respect for these dudes.
I agree with you, Chris. And I think today's athletes are not only socially conscious, they're morally conscious as well. Because I think sometimes, they were conflicted. I mean, morally, they knew the right thing to do. But before, Skip, if you spoke out anything was political, your sponsors dropped you. So you could be morally, but you didn't want to be socially because I want to hold on to this $100,000 contract. I want to hold on to this $1 million contract. So you were morally conflicted because morally you knew the right thing to do. But socially, if you came out public with it, it could cost you. Now these guys are morally and socially conscious and I don't care. And for the most part, their sponsors have stayed on board with them. You see, you said something. You see how quick that happened, Skip? Robert Kraft, what Jay-Z and all these prominent blacks, Jay-Z's worth $1 billion.
Yep.
What all these prominent blacks couldn't do, Robert Kraft and Michael Rubin went and got done in 2 weeks. So in other words, if these owners, these wealthy white owners in the NFL and the NBA were to say, you know what, Marco Rubio, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Nadler, this is what we need to get done. You say America's, but look, this notion that America was founded, America is working exactly how it was intended to work, Skip. Because you know the founding fathers, there's only certain ones that were in there. They were what, Skip? They were wealthy, they were white, landowners, slave owners. That was it. So in other words, if you fit that criteria, kind of like today, you have power if you're wealthy, you white, you own land, or you're in corporations. So America's working how it was intended to work. But black weren't meant to have power. That's why you enslaved them. That's why you put Jim Crow. That's why you enacted laws. So we need, and LeBron is absolutely right. Jeannie Buss, Mark Cuban, I get it. Yeah, we appreciate the slogans. We appreciate the hashtags. We appreciate the symbols that America, you take down these symbols, these Confederate generals off military establishments. Okay, you rename a school, you rename a building for John Lewis, and maybe there's another MLK Street going up somewhere in America. But enough of the symbols, we want substance. We want something tangible that we can see in the African-American community that says, okay, you're going to treat us differently. We're going to do away with the systemic racism and this economic inequality that exists. We need a better share. We need a bite of the apple. We need a bite of the apple too. We want the American dream. I commend the players. Maybe it wasn't as thought out as it could have been, but that's neither here nor there. And this notion of playing, Skip, I can assure you, the America that the founding fathers set forth and the America that we've seen today, there's a lot of things that have transpired in between them to get to where we are. So stop with this notion, the plan, like the full-scale plan is going to be complete. No, it's going to take baby steps, but we got it. We're there. Like I said, the players have the platform. Now they need to get with organizations that's been doing this for an extended period of time. You're the computer players. Now you need the software. Get with the people, and we can get this thing done. We're going to get it done. I commend the players, but I'm proud of the players. Make sure they understand that. I'm proud of you guys. And a lot of America is proud of what you've done yesterday.
So, for me, Chris, last night hit emotionally like Rudy Gobert night. When the pandemic first started, the emotional impact of it just hit me like 10 tons of bricks. Wait a second. We might lose the NBA again for the right reason. That was for the COVID reason, obviously. And I also loved and applauded and congratulated what the Bucks did because it took a while. It was raw emotion. They finally decided as a team about 5 minutes to tip off with the Magic warming up, ready for tip off out on the floor. They decided we just can't do this. This happened in our home area in what's basically a Milwaukee suburb. And they said, no, we just can't do this. And I don't know how well thought out it was because it left some teams like Orlando to start with in a lurch because they weren't ready not to play, and it made them look a little awkward and sheepish. And it also, according to all the reports, that fiery meeting they had last night, 8 o'clock Eastern, was about, hey, we thought we were going to be a unified front. We were going to do this all together because we had discussed doing this as a group,
Right.
not as a solo team doing this, as the first huge domino that fell across sports last night. So again, I still love what they did because the impact was shocking from sea to shining sea. Yeah. It reopened a lot of new eyes. But the reason they had that meeting was there were a lot of players, starting with LeBron and CP3, who said, wait a second, we thought we were going to do this together. We thought we were going to have a big press conference and we were going to speak, all of us were going to speak, and it wound up George Hill speaking mostly for the Bucks.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.